January 6th. I did a video on Oscar Grant, which was the gentleman that was shot by a BART police officer. I'm going to show you proof that Oscar, which was the gentleman that was shot, was handcuffed before the police officer shot him. Pay close attention to the video and I'll explain it as I go through. Thanks.
From Attorney John Burris, I want to repeat what you said. It's very graphic. It shows the moment of the shooting of a BART police officer firing his gun at a 22-year-old man. Now I want to roll the video here and show you. This is cell phone video. It was taken by apparently a passenger on BART. Attorney John Burris said the man wanted to remain anonymous. You see the police officers there struggling with someone on the ground. There's a man who appears to be somewhat bald. Look to his left. An officer reaches for his gun. Within a second, he fires.
Look right here. This is the scene that you were just looking at. Look right here. Here's one of his arms. Here's his left arm. Here's his right arm. He's laying flat on the ground, face down, with his chest to the ground. There's his right arm. Here's his left arm. Here's the thing. The police officers are saying that he was not handcuffed when he was shot. If he was not handcuffed when he was shot, why has his arms not fallen to the side of his body? What is holding his arms up to stop them from falling? See if I can bring that in closer. Here's another one. A little closer. How are his arms up? What is holding his arms up? There's one arm. See, there's another one. If I adjust it down. Okay, so if this gentleman was not handcuffed, what's holding his arms up? How come his arms haven't fallen down? Here and here.
The cell phone video was shot by someone who wants to keep his name out of it. It clearly shows the chaos immediately preceding the shooting of Oscar Grant. It's just after 2 o'clock on New Year's morning. Police wrestle Oscar Grant to the ground on the platform of the Fruitvale station after officers broke up a fight on the train. Grant is on the ground, face down now, arms behind his back. Keep an eye on this officer right here. He suddenly draws his weapon and quickly fires.
Okay. Now, hang on a second here, because they're telling you to keep your eye on this officer right here. And then this officer has here's his foot, his knee, here's the gentleman's head right here. His knee is on his head, on his neck. Look at his arm. Right here's his arm. They have already handcuffed him. He has already been handcuffed. I'll bring it in a little closer if I can get it. Right there. Here's his arm. Okay, this officer is he's handcuffing him right now. Okay, he's already been handcuffed. That's why this officer stepped off of him. If he was not handcuffed already, this officer here would not have stepped off of him. Okay, so don't watch this officer. Watch when this officer stands up. This officer is going to fire. This officer is going to stand up, and watch his arms. They're handcuffed behind his back.
Johannes Mehserle looks up and down at his, look how the officer looks down at his gun as if he's shocked, and then he looks up at the other officer.
The officer seemed stunned for a moment, then they quickly put handcuffs on Oscar Grant as he lay mortally wounded. 5 days after the shooting, that officer has still not given a statement to investigators.
Well, he should talk.
John Burris is the attorney representing the family of 22-year-old Oscar Grant.
You don't know what was in his mind. Why did he do what he did? Now, the longer he goes, the more likely it is, or he certainly has more opportunity to put together a statement to try to justify his actions.
You're not...
Okay, this is why the police officer's not talking. This is exactly why, because all of those police officers know that he was handcuffed and then they shot him, or the one police officer shot him. You can see towards the end of the video where they drag the gentleman that they shot out of the way. They didn't handcuff him at that time. There wasn't enough time. Instead of focusing your attention on the police officers, you have to focus your attention on the young man that was shot. That's why they're not talking. They're trying to figure a way to get out of this or to get around this. The woman that shot the young man, was he from the Iraq War? Was he a veteran? Was he a soldier that came home from the Iraq War? He was on the department for 2 years, they said. Did he come from the Iraq War? Is this a soldier that came home from the Iraq War? Is this what our future police department is going to be like? We know that the soldiers, which I do support the soldiers, however, we know that the soldiers treated the Iraqis this way. We know they did. There's footage, there's videotape of this. Now have they come home to treat the Americans this way? Is this why they're not telling us who this gentleman is? Find out if he was in the Iraq War? So, as you can see from my tape, the gentleman was handcuffed.
If Oscar Grant is indeed handcuffed, face down, not resisting, and he's shot point blank, why did they need to pull even a stun gun out unless Officer Johannes is intending to stun him and torture him while laying in the prone position handcuffed?